Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everyone. It's your boy, Mrs. Degenerate, back at it again for another video. And I know it took me a while for this video. I've been debating, I've been really thinking on how to make this video. But I think it's time to talk about the game that is my game of the year of 2022. And when I look back at 2022, there wasn't a lot of games that spoke to me, that really touched me. In fact, I would say 2022 was the year I went back and played a lot of old games, or just didn't have time for gaming. And when I look at 2022 games, there's one game in particular that just keeps coming to mind, always comes to mind. I still think about it up to this day. And that game is Elden Ring. My game of the year for 2022 is Elden Ring. And I make no secret of that. And in fact, if you have followed my channel, I made a video on Elden Ring and why I think it's an amazing game. So it was no secret that this game was going to win Game of the Year for me. But for me, I wanted to talk about why this game touched me, why this game is such a special game to me. Why is Elden Ring so special? The main topic of the video. Sorry it took so long to get to this, but in order to explain why it won Game of the Year for me, I have to explain a little story. So, last year, I was hanging out with my homeboys, a few of my homeboys, and we were at this burger place, and we were just chatting it up, talking about life and whatnot, and we started talking about Elden Ring. And I remember we all had beaten, or was like, I think a few of us were near the end of Elden Ring. And we were just talking about how great the game is, some of the things that we found interesting about the game. And one of the things I noticed throughout that whole conversation, while we all talked about Elden Ring, is that we all had a unique experience. We all had something different to say about it. One of my friends, he played the whole game in co-op. So he got to experience some funny and hilarious moments with my other friend, because they were both co-oping the game together. And it was so interesting hearing their thoughts and his experience of just co-oping the whole experience together. My other friend actually looked up the game, and he found an area in the game that helped him level up faster. So he went through the first level. When he came back to do the first level again, he was so fucking OP, he was killing bosses without any problem. And then my other friend, he played a build and had a build that just focused on stealthing. And so he was stealthing his whole, at least the beginning hours, just stealthing the whole entire area. And I was just amazed by how much people and how much we all experience different things. And it touched me, because my experience was nothing like theirs. My experience, I played the whole game for like 10 hours, not knowing what the fuck to do, confused, and just discovering what the game had to offer me. I just remember the moment I got to the red town. I forgot what it's called. Caelid. Like, I would never forget the moment I stepped onto Caelid after fighting a big ass fucking dragon, and the dragon came out of nowhere, and I fucking ran away to the point where I discovered this treasure, and I opened the treasure, and I got teleported to this random ass fucking cave. And I'm here trying to kill the enemies in the cave, and the fucking enemies are just fucking my shit up, and I could not get out of this cave. I could not find a way to get out of this cave until I just said, fuck it, I'm gonna book it out of nowhere. And then I came out of the cave only to see the fucking sky is red, and like it's a swamp area, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? and it's Caleb. And that moment will always be in my head. I remember one of my friends talking about like, hey man, I found this place by going and doing this random bullshit. And then, you know, one of my other friends said that he accidentally hit Blind, the wolf dude, by accident, and then he started attacking him, and so them had a huge ass battle, and then he killed them, and he's like, oh, this is great. And then Blind came back and fucked his shit up. Just these memorable moments in this game. And it was all because the game never told me these moments. It never holds your hand. It never tells you anything other than you need to get to this fucking tree. How you get to it, good fucking luck. And there is a path, but the game never requires you to follow that path. You can do whatever the fuck you want. And as I think about the game even now, I'm just amazed on how, like, that player discovery, that the sense of the unknown is the most rewarding aspect about it, because it led to some cool, funny, great moments, and I was just so blown away. And this is why, to me, Elden Ring is my game of the year, because there's never been a game that has literally told me to figure it the fuck out as much as this game has. And I think it never got to the point where I was frustrated like other Souls game. In other Souls game, it always felt like, well, if you don't get past this level, good fucking luck. And I just was never interested in the world or the stories to get enough. And I just constantly always tried other Souls games, and I just couldn't get into them. But this one, and maybe because it was easier, I mean, you can make some broken ass fucking builds, but it was all because the game never forced me into anything. It was like Miyazaki knew that this game needed to stand out from other Souls-like games, and knew that the only way to bring in other audience is that we're gonna have shit that's gonna piss you off, but it was always at the expense of saying, well, if this is pissing you off, go at this other corner, you'll feel rewarded in some capacity. It was always that sense of discovery. And then there's shit that I haven't even discovered. There's this one area of the game that's under the roots of the tree where my friend was just talking about it. I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? And he was just like going on about there's this dragon underneath fucking tree. And I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? I'm like, what? And then I looked it up and I'm like, wait a minute. There was another area in the game I completely fucking missed. And the game never tells you that they missed. Unless you did a particular side mission to get to that area, you would have completely fucking missed it. And it was just all the time, this game never, ever made you even feel bad about that. And the game is so bloated. The game is so well done, well crafted. It's genius. It's like, my God, is all Souls games like this? Like, and I've tried all Souls games, but this one was just on point. And for me, I'm happy. This is a game that I will remember for years to come. It is a game that I will cherish for the rest of my life. Elden Ring is just a special, magical game. It's one of a kind. And I said it before and I'll say it again. I think this is the golden standard of what open world games need to be, for sure. And I'm looking forward to seeing what's the next exciting venture for FromSoft, because this game is amazing. And I have problems with the game. I think the final area, that's where I think the game kind of loses me. I'm like, bro, this game is bloated to the point where I don't want to even come back to it, even if they make DLC. But I was so satisfied that I'm just like, fuck, I need to come back to it, but I don't want to come back to it. I was so bloated by it. And so I guess the point I'm trying to make with this point and why it is my game of the year is that freedom of expression was so palpable, so beautiful, that this game is just like made me fall in love with FromSoft. Like I need to play Sekiro. I know, like, I heard that game is hard, but that game speaking to me for some odd reason. And I just want to play more Souls games, but I need to have the right mindset, because I think this is like this game opens the floodgate for so many people trying other Souls games.